any performer this past year. She has it all: fame, money, universal acclaim, the so-called world by the tail. But something is wrong in all this. She, too, split from her manager of 10 years. She's up to her hips in lawsuits. She's been ill for 3 months. And sitting in this rented house in Los Angeles, she says she doesn't have the slightest idea what's coming next. On the surface, one can't understand why. At 34, after 15 years in show business, she can boast a stunning list of accomplishments. Best-selling albums that have won her Grammy Awards. A very funny new book based on her recent world tour. But the real jewel in her crown is the Academy Award nomination for her very first motion picture performance in The Rose.
Went to Westminster and heard the...
After The Rose, Bette took her special mixture of irreverent energy and off-color jokes to Broadway, and that show sold out every single night.
But we were really lucky, you know, because we got to actually lay our 2 eyes on her Hiney the Queen. Have you ever seen her? Oh, kids, she is the whitest woman in the whole world. She makes us all look like the third world. There can be no question that she is a Protestant. Really, she has the wardrobe and everything. I only have one question to ask her, Madge. What have you got in that purse? What's she got in that purse? What do you think she's got in that purse? I mean, you know she hasn't got car fare or nothing like that. Probably has a little identification card that says, I am the Queen.
When the Broadway stint ended, the show was filmed to be released soon as a movie, Divine Madness.
When they come to see me, they come to see the energy, and they come to see me run, you know, run, because I do run on the stage. Mm-hmm. But the parts that I like best are the parts where I get to, you know, sort of sing ballads and sing the blues and sort of bare my breast, that sort of thing. I mean, not literally in the figurative sense. That too. Well, once or twice. I have been carried away.
I have heard that once was recently at the London Palladium.
Well,
I thought that was very chic.
It was. They just loved it. They said they were all sort of sitting in the balcony one night, and they had this one group of them. I guess they were from, they kept saying they were from Liverpool. I keep trying to get the accent in my head, but I don't really have it. They had a big, all the way across the balcony, cards that said, "We love Bette Midler," and they spelled my name wrong. And then they turned the cards around and they said, "We love your, you know, anatomy, your chest." And so they made me laugh. I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was just hysterical. And so I was wearing something that was rather sort of loose anyway, so I sort of gave them a jolt.
In real life?
It made me laugh. I love it when if they can make me laugh, I will, you know, I don't care. If it's the right moment, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes that's the best thing to do, is to flash them. You know, that's like they'll never forget it. They go home and they'll say, "You'll never guess what I said."
Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah, right. But I don't do it too often because it's not in good taste. You don't want them to come and expect it, you know. You want to sort of like, you want to...
Are you in real life? Are you a prude?
Oh, I'm terribly prudish. But there's something about getting out on the stage that fills me with this desire, desire is the wrong word, that fills me with this determination just to surprise and
shock?
Yes, sometimes. Recently, I find that. I didn't used to, I did when I was first working, or rather, just a few years ago. Recently, I don't. Can I start again?
Just say it, come on.
That windowsill is perfectly filthy.
Yeah, well, we'll clean it later.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get up, we'll do a few things, we'll rinse out a few things.
Okay.
We'll take care of you.
What's the question?
Shock. Yeah.
When I first started, and a fake trellis, too. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just realizing what's going on. Wait now. When I first, I never thought about shocking people at all when I first started working, but recently, like just the last job that I did, I found myself, like things started coming out of my mouth. It's like I was another person, like I couldn't control them. It was very odd.
But not privately.
Not privately, no.
Lots of things have happened to you this year, almost too much. I mean, it's as if everything has come together, the enormous success in The Rose, and yet the kind of work that you had to put into it. Your one-woman show, the death of your mother, the giving up of your manager, Aaron Russo, who had been with you for years. Where are you now? What has this all done?
Well, I'll tell you, it's really rough. This is not funny. This is a lot of work. And it's terribly exhausting, to be quite frank. I don't like to talk about it, but this has been very, very hard on me this last year. There was a couple of times I really thought I was going to go under. I was ready to call the men in the white suits. It's an awful lot of work, and I had no idea before I decided I would do it myself. I mean, I had no idea what Aaron really did.
In terms of doing without the manager?
Yeah.
How did you keep from falling apart?
I don't really know that I have.
Now, that you've kept from falling apart.
I don't think I have kept from falling apart. I think I'm very close to falling apart. But I don't care, you can always get up and pick up the pieces. It's not like I'm going to die or anything. That much I've learned.
It seems when one sees you on stage and talking to you off stage that you have, that you have compassion for the oddballs. The oddballs knock you out.
I do. Everywhere I turn, I see them.
And you're an oddball.
I am an oddball. I'm definitely odd. I'm up there with them big odd ones. Yep. Yeah, I do have compassion for it, because I know what it's like to be inside that body. I know what it's like to have that little voice, stuck inside a body and you don't understand how you got trapped there. You being, your soul or your personality. Go ahead.
Did you feel that way when you were a kid?
Yeah, I always did. I always felt apart, never felt like I belonged. That's why I think I go so far to make people laugh and sort of give them comfort too, by saying, look at what a nutcase I am, yet I go on.
I know in your book you said that you can't stand it when people ask you about your childhood and about Hawaii, but it is not your average childhood.
We were a white family in a neighborhood that was mostly non-white.
In Honolulu?
In Honolulu, just on the outskirts of Honolulu, in what they used to call the sticks. They were Japanese and Chinese, and Filipinos and Samoans, and Hawaiian Chinese, and Portuguese, and it was, we were the only real straight-ahead white family, and Jewish to boot. And we were made to feel very uncomfortable.
And you were the funny-looking kid.
I was a funny-looking kid.
Were you really funny-looking?
Well, I wore these glasses, the kind with the little cat's eyes. And they weren't on a chain. Thank God they weren't on a chain. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. And I had my little frizzy hair, and I tell you, these glasses have really, really murdered my love life. Really, really rough. I was playing, I had a big chest, I was very developed I started developing early, and in those days, I don't know what it's like now, but in those days, geez, they used to just murder you the kids were just merciless if you were starting to develop a figure. Even the girls, I mean, they were like, bitter women, bitter little women, bitter children. Like they had picked up all this hideousness from their parents or something, And so I got a lot of it. I used to get a lot of it because first I was white, then I was this strange thing called Jewish, and then I had this set of knockers, that used to just infuriate them.
What do you think of the way you look?
I think I look great.
No kidding.
Why
do I say no kidding?
Yeah, hey, get out of my house.
Would you say that to Bo Derek? Yeah. Because everything that I've read about you, you always talk about how when you were a kid you thought you were so ugly. Right. You really think you're
I think I look great. Just to plea for sympathy. So you should always get the crowd on your side,
You think you're sexy?
I know I'm sexy, but I shouldn't say that in public, because people that get like, well, who is she? But, and I don't mean it like that.
You know the film 10.
Yes.
On the scale of 1 to 10, what are you?
What am I? On a scale of 1 to 10? Oh, I think I'm about a 55. I don't know. I think I'm a happening girl. I think I'm happening. I mean, if I didn't think I was happening, I mean, why would I ever bother to get up in the morning? I think I'm happening.
You've never been married?
Never been married.
Want to be married?
No, but I think I'd like to have children.
Would you?
Yeah.
What kind of a mother would you be?
Oh, I think I'd be a great mother. Because I have compassion, you know.
What would you
And
tell
I like to teach. Like John, I like to teach.
Do material things mean anything to you? I mean, you've made some money.
I made some money, yeah, who knew? Yeah, I made some money.
Are there things that you're dying to buy?
No.
Possessions you want to have?
No, no,
Really?
no. Just books and records.
There are those who say you are
And
cheap.
other people. Cheap? Who said I'm cheap?
Cheap. Some of
Must
the
be
people who
people that
work
work for me.
you. Oh, we got that line straight. Are you cheap?
Cheap, the worst.
Why?
Well, honey, I'll tell you the truth. If everybody out there is listening knew what I had to pay for the kind of service that I required, they would say I was not cheap. It's only when I'm just shoved up against the wall that I start to scream. But I do it because I'm frustrated and not out of real malice or attitude. I'm not a prima donna. I am definitely not a prima donna, if I do say so myself.
What do you like most about yourself?
The fact that I'm not a prima donna.
What do you like least about yourself?
The fact that I'm not a prima donna. The fact that I can't learn to be a prima donna, damn it.
When you fantasize now, though, I mean, if you think of the future, what do you see?
I don't fantasize.
You don't
I don't fantasize. This is as far as the fantasy got me.
Mm-hmm.
This was the fantasy.
This was the fantasy. I'll
Yes.
make the movie, I'll be on the
That's
stage,
it.
now what?
Now what? That was the fantasy. Now I got to go find another fantasy. You know?
Is the best yet to come, or have you been there already?
I think this is it.
Do you really?
I do. But I don't think
At
it's bad.
34, you think that this is it?
Well, yeah.
You're not going to get higher. It's not going to get better.
Is there any more?
Yeah.
What else is there?
And
What else would I want to do? I mean,
what are you
look
going to
I
do
did.
from 34 to 90?
I have no idea. You mean I have to go on? You catch me at a very peculiar point in my life, because everything thus far has been leading up to this moment, and here I am.
I know it. I know we have. I mean, I knew when we came to do the interview that this was a very particular time with everything that's been the best and with some of the things that have been the worst. And we really have gotten you, if we wanted to be corny, at the crossroads.
Really, at the crossroads.
And we don't know which way you're going
She's standing right in the middle. She's not moving an inch.